Get daily updates directly to your inbox plus subscribe. Thank you for subscribing. Could not subscribe. Try again later. Invalid email. There has been little clarity in the search for Pedro Caixinha's successor at Rangers, but the last 5 days have confused matters even further. Derek McInnes is seen as the Ibrox board's #1 target, but has now lost twice in succession to Light Blues interim boss Graham Murdy, who isn't regarded as being up to the job long-term. Plenty of fans weren't convinced by McInnes, and that was before their 10-man side beat his Aberdeen team 2-1 at Pittodrie yesterday. There was a lot of negativity on the hotline, with an approach expected this week for the former Rangers midfielder. Jim Campbell, Mansfield, said, "It'll be livid if Derek McInnes is appointed after waiting nearly 6 weeks. The board need to stop pandering to the fans who want an ex-Rangers player. We need a quality manager." William Simpson emailed, "Maybe I am missing something, but what has Derek McInnes achieved at Aberdeen? He's got a team that can hardly string 2 decent performances together. He would have been better off taking the Sunderland job last season, and if nothing else, he'd be 1 million better off." Jim Eddy, Maryhill, said, "Dave King is making a big mistake with Derek McInnes. What has he really achieved at Aberdeen that no other manager could have done? It's the same with Brendan Rodgers at Celtic. He is doing what is expected." Video loading. Video unavailable. Click to play. Tap to play. The video will start in 8. Cancel play now. Craig Barnett said, "Rangers fans don't want Derek McInnes. Why do the majority of supporters get ignored? Derek McInnes is a mediocre manager like so many in Scotland. His appointment could be a disaster for such a great club." Old Firm rivals Celtic ended their 3-parter with Motherwell with a thumping 5-1 win over the Steelmen, but there continues to be bad blood between the clubs. It was a controversial trilogy, with Scott Brown claiming Hoops players were pelted with missiles at Fir Park, Motherwell accusing Celtic fans of vandalising the stadium, and asking the SFA for clarification over controversial decisions they feel went against them. Image. SNS Group. That resulted in Brendan Rodgers, who defended his players over accusations of diving by saying they are super honest, hitting out at Motherwell chief Alan Burrows. But Ian Henderson emailed, "It would be nice if I could pick up my daily record one day without Brendan Rodgers pontificating about something. He is a very lucky man, a top-earning manager, managing top-earned players. It's a job any decent manager could do. If he's not offering his thoughts on Scotland, Hearts or any other club, he is offering up excuses for another Champions League failure. He failed at Liverpool when they had a great chance of winning the English Premier League, so let's have less Rodgers and more coverage of the rest of the league." John Bruce emailed, "Hugh Dallas and Kylian Mbappe must have raised a wry smile when they heard Scott Brown complaining about missile-throwing yobs and calling for a clamp down on their unruly behavior." Referee Dallas was famously struck and injured by a coin thrown by a Celtic fan, and Mbappe physically assaulted by a Hoops fan at Brunei's beloved Celtic Park, UEFA's most fined club for unruly fans' unacceptable behavior. "This really is a case of people in glass houses." Bud Hay, Dumfries, said, "We won't hear many Motherwell fans moaning this week because they were stuffed 5-1 and there were no penalties for them to complain about." Video loading. Video unavailable. Click to play. Tap to play. The video will start in 8. Cancel play now. Gary Shields said, "It's now pantomime season in Glasgow. The Wizard of Never was at the Pavilion and the penalty that never was at Hampden Park and Fir Park. If Brendan Rodgers and his team are so honest, why don't they just admit they dive to win penalties? They should be ashamed of themselves." St Johnstone boss Tommy Wright was unhappy at players Michael O'Halloran and Richard Foster after They arrived late for the game against Kilmarnock due to a traffic jam caused by a crash on the A9. But Lewis Fotheringham, Gartkosh, said, "I don't understand why Tommy Wright was so angry with Ricky Foster and Michael O'Halloran over there. Later rival for the St Johnstone game. It wasn't their fault they were caught up in a traffic jam. Tommy Wright should have been thinking about those who were actually involved in the car crash that caused the delay rather than a game of football."